Hey leaders, last week we talked about program versus people in youth ministry, and I said that it's not one or the other, in fact it's both. If you missed the email or video, you can pick it up here at this link. Now, this week I want to talk specifically about people, not about program. And I want to encourage in the area of our one-on-ones and one-on-two lunches and coffees that we have with our students. We'll talk about knowing our students, taking them out individually, and helping seeing them move forward in their walk with Jesus. At the end of the email, I'll cover some of the event stuff for this week and upcoming events, but let's dive right into the people conversation. First off, know your students. In order to lead your group well, it's important that you know your students. Knowing your students takes time, it takes an investment. Students know if you have time for them and often equate that with how much you care for them. Whether that's right or wrong on their behalf, that's just the way things are. As you spend more time with students, especially outside our regular program, they will trust you and they will let you in on their lives. I was encouraged this week to talk to one of our leaders who asked how they could coach a student in some specific life questions they were wrestling with. I was encouraged because this leader was actually having one-to-one conversations with a student about something that really matters in their life. How well do you know your students? If you're in a small group with another leader, do you know at least half your group fairly well? Does the other leader know the other half? Are your students having conversations about stuff that really matters in their life? For example, parents, dating, school, wrestlings of faith, etc. Get to know your students. Second of all, one-on-ones and one-on-twos. As I've said earlier in emails and conversations, we really encourage our leaders to take students out for coffees and meals outside of our program. So much so that this year we'll even provide $20 per month per leader when receipts are submitted. I realize this may not cover it all, but we're moving towards the right direction with our budget. A few logistics regarding one-on-ones are the new forms this year. We have 2 forms for parents and students to fill out. One is our mentoring form right here. This mentoring form gives permission from a parent to enter a mentoring relationship with a student. On it, we agree to confidentiality except when a student is at risk. There's also this transportation form, which gives permission for the parents to leaders to drive students. Both these forms can be downloaded and printed, and there are links provided in this email for the mentoring program form and also for the transportation form. Those are both PDFs. When you pick a place, I recommend Tim Hortons or McDonald's, somewhat inexpensive so you can take more students out more often. Most students will remember the time you spent with them more than the money you spent on them. You can also connect with students over social media and through occasional check-ins like through text or phone. Those are great ways to do that. Third thing is helping students grow. So what should you do when you meet with them? What should you say? Quick 4 answers, 4 words. Assess, question, challenge, and pray. First, assess. Get to know them. Where are they in their spiritual walk with Jesus? Where are they at school? Where are they at with their family? If this isn't your first time getting together, how have they grown from the last time? As we check in on the major areas in their lives, and even the minor like sports and hobbies, etc., we find out where they are at. Second of all, ask questions. Here are a list of questions from the C.S. Lewis Institute that we could use. Now, they could use better youth language and they might need some simplifying, but they're going in the right direction. So you can check out this link here on the C.S. Lewis Institute about asking. There's 10 questions to ask to make sure that you're still growing, but it's questions you can ask for students. Third thing to talk about is challenging your student. Is there a relationship to work on? Is there someone to forgive? Is there some discipline they need in their life? Give them a bite-sized challenge for the next time you meet. Give them a deadline to get it done. Students expect to be challenged when they talk with you, when they meet with you. Don't disappoint them on that front. So challenge them. Finally, as much as possible, every meeting I have with a student or leader, I always ask, how can I pray for you? Then if the space allows, pray for them right there. Write it down and then actively pray for them after you meet as well. Ask them about what you've been praying for when you follow up next time. Ultimately, we want to point students not to ourselves, but to Jesus, and that happens through prayer. I hope this quick learning on connecting with our people helps you. I also mentioned I wanted to cover a few other program things. This week, this Wednesday, we are collecting some items for the least. Please remind your students to bring those items by text or whatever tomorrow. If they don't remember what they are to bring, here they are. Toiletries that are not alcohol based, winter jackets, blankets, hot chocolate mix, socks, shoes, mittens, gloves. Those are things they can bring. I will also have some specific prayer requests for the least, as well as some bags to put the stuff in and some cards that they can write notes for the least people. I will deliver those items to your house if I can't find a group leader or a house leader to pick them up from the church. Also, the other item, as you may have heard, is our zombie dash. We're not doing that anymore. It didn't pan out with the other facility and the other church who was planning it for us. Instead, we are having a Just Chillin' night at our youth center. If any of our students have collected money, please encourage them to contact the donors to see if it's still okay to give the money to the Ronald McDonald House of Northern Alberta, even though they're not doing this zombie dash. I will collect the money in forms on Friday at our event. Also, encourage them to bring their friends to the event. And I want to invite you as well. Come if you want to serve at the event. That's all I have for today. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, and the word today is peppercorn. Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.